What if everything you've been taught about aging is a lie? What if your wrinkles, your fatigue, and your lack of energy aren't natural signs of time, but evidence of a hidden program designed to keep you weak, tired, and dependent? What if the very system that sells you youth is quietly feeding off your decay? In this video, you're going to uncover a ritual so ancient and powerful it was forbidden for thousands of years. It has the ability to awaken your body's natural power to regenerate, to erase years of exhaustion, and restore the glow you thought was gone forever. And no, this isn't a metaphor. This is sacred knowledge that only a few were ever meant to know. Most people aren't ready for this truth because it challenges the foundation of everything they believe about the human body and time itself. But if something inside you whispers that you were never meant to fade, that you were made to evolve, stay until the end, because what you're about to remember cannot be forgotten. The modern anti-aging industry has built an empire on your fear of time. It sells you serums, pills, and procedures that only hide symptoms while the real cause, stagnation of life force, goes unhealed. A tired body doesn't question. It obeys. It buys. It survives. But long before these industries existed, the ancients of Egypt already knew the secret. They called it the mastery of time. In the temples of Thoth, the god of wisdom and time, initiates were taught that youth is not a stage of life. It's a frequency, a skill, a state of consciousness. They practiced a three-step ritual so simple, so natural, that it was eventually banned and buried under centuries of distraction. You were never meant to find it. Today, you will. These three sacred principles were not cosmetic tricks or myths of immortality. They were acts of alignment that reconnected the body, mind, and spirit to the original rhythm of life. The first alone can reboot your entire nervous system in minutes. The others unlock levels of clarity and vitality that most people will never experience. So if you feel deep inside that you were meant for more than simply aging, say it out loud. I claim my sovereignty. We don't see things as they are. We see them as we are. So to remember this wisdom, we must go back to the golden sands of ancient Egypt, where life and death were not opposites, but two sides of one sacred current. There stood Thoth, known to the Greeks as Hermes Trismegistus, the scribe of the gods, the keeper of cosmic order, the master of time itself. Thoth understood that time is not a force that destroys. It's a river of consciousness that can be navigated and even shaped. He didn't measure time. He commanded it. He taught that immortality was never about escaping death, but about expanding awareness, learning how to stretch vitality, strength, and clarity far beyond what the world calls normal. The priests and pharaohs who followed him weren't searching for eternal life through magic or gold. They were seeking regeneration. They knew aging doesn't begin in the body. It begins in the energy field. A stiff body is the echo of a stiff mind. A weary face is the shadow of an exhausted soul. When the flow of life slows within you, decay begins. But when energy moves freely, the body remembers how to renew itself. Modern culture has forgotten this. It tells you to fight time with chemicals, surgeries, and endless noise. The ancients knew better. The secret was never to add anything to the body, but to remove what blocks the natural flow of life. For them, youth was synonymous with flow, and old age was stagnation. The moment your energy stops moving, you begin to die, long before your body does. The ritual that Thoth left behind was stunningly simple. It didn't require gold or blood or complex incantations. It required awareness, discipline, and breath. It required returning to three basic truths that modern life has trained us to ignore. Each one unlocks your body's natural ability to regenerate. Each one reclaims your sovereignty from the system that profits from your decay. And the first is the simplest of all, the forbidden breath. The air is the most abundant and free medicine on earth. Yet, it's the one we've most forgotten how to use. Most people barely breathe. Their breath is shallow, trapped in the upper chest, starved of depth. Imagine your body as a system of rivers. Your blood is the water. Your cells are the banks. If the current stops, the water stagnates and waste builds up. That's what happens inside you every day. Shallow breathing traps toxins, lowers oxygen, and suffocates vitality. This is what modern science calls oxidative stress, the rusting of your body from the inside out. No cream can heal that. No pill can replace what breath alone can restore. Deep, conscious breathing is the act of cleansing the river within you. It washes away decay and awakens every cell. When you breathe deeply, you're not just filling your lungs, you're feeding your soul. Oxygen is spirit made visible. Ancient masters used to say, when you breathe poorly, your life becomes tasteless and short. Shallow breath creates shallow life. Deep breath creates deep living, alert, calm, and alive. But modern society keeps you trapped in the opposite state, constantly anxious, always rushing, breathing only enough to survive, never enough to thrive. To break that pattern is rebellion. It's the first step to reclaiming your power. So sit with your spine straight, relax your shoulders, close your eyes, not to sleep, but to wake up. Inhale slowly through your nose for 4 counts. Feel the air sink into your belly and expand it like a balloon. Hold it there for 4 counts. In that stillness, oxygen floods deep into your tissues, feeding your cells, awakening the fire of life. Then exhale through your mouth for 6 counts. Imagine stress, fatigue, and fear leaving your body with the air. Repeat this rhythm. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 6. Do it a few times. Feel the tingling in your hands, the warmth spreading through your body, the quiet clarity in your mind. That's your nervous system resetting. That's your energy realigning. This is not relaxation. It's renewal. With every breath, you are reclaiming authority over your life force. You are no longer the victim of exhaustion or time. You are the alchemist, turning air into vitality. But the ancients knew that breath alone wasn't enough. Once the body is purifying with oxygen, another poison must be removed. The noise, not just the sounds of traffic or chaos, but the constant stream of information, flashing lights, messages, arguments, and fears that fill your mind every hour of the day. Your nervous system was never built for this. Every alert, every notification, every piece of bad news triggers the release of cortisol, the stress hormone. For a short moment, cortisol helps you survive, but when it never stops flowing, it becomes acid, burning your cells from the inside. It destroys collagen, causing wrinkles. It weakens your organs. It kills brain cells, leaving you foggy and forgetful. You can drink green juice and meditate all you want, but if you never silence the noise, your body will stay in panic mode. The only real cure is silence. Pure, intentional, sacred silence. Silence is not emptiness. It's space. It's the temple where your nervous system resets and your spirit breathes freely again. When you sit in complete silence, your body exits fight or flight mode. Cortisol levels drop. Your heart rate stabilizes. Your immune system repairs. your mind begins to regenerate. Science is only now proving what sages have known for millennia. Silence heals. It repairs the brain. It increases neurogenesis, the birth of new neurons. It reconnects you to life itself. Silence is the mirror in which you see yourself clearly again. It's where time slows and your true rhythm returns. In that stillness, you realize that youth was never lost. It was only hidden beneath the noise. When breath and silence come together, the body awakens, the mind clears, and the soul remembers. You become fluid again, alive again, young again, not because you've escaped time, but because you've remembered how to flow with it. And this is the secret that was once forbidden. You were never meant to age the way you've been told. You were meant to evolve, to renew, to become the living proof that time serves those who master it. So breathe deeply, seek silence, and remember, youth was never something you lost. It was something you stopped practicing. Now, you remember, silence is not just a pause for the mind. It's a rebirth for the brain itself. In the very center of your hippocampus, the place stress damages most, new brain cells begin to grow the moment you learn to be still. When you choose quiet over chaos, you aren't merely calming yourself down. You are literally rebuilding your brain from within, making it sharper, stronger, and younger. In this age of constant noise, where every notification steals a piece of your peace, silence has become the rarest and most powerful medicine. It heals what overstimulation destroys. It restores what exhaustion drains. Yet the world is designed to keep you from it. Noise has become the default setting of existence. Traffic, conversations, screens, and endless streams of information. Silence is treated as an absence, when in truth, it is the presence of everything real. You don't need to run away to a monastery in Tibet or live in isolation to find it. What you need is discipline, the courage to do something that feels almost impossible in this noisy world. 5 minutes of absolute stillness. That is all it takes to begin changing the landscape of your mind. The instructions are simple, yet what they awaken is profound. Choose a time and place where you will not be disturbed. Turn off your phone, close your computer, and tell anyone nearby that you are stepping away. Sit comfortably and allow yourself to do nothing. For these few minutes, you are not trying to fix, achieve, or control. You are simply resting inside your own being. At first, it feels unnatural. Your mind will fight back. It will panic, trying to fill the silence with its usual noise. Thoughts about work, worries about the future, memories from the past. It will start rehearsing arguments, repeating lists, spinning imaginary dialogues. This is withdrawal. The mind, used to being constantly entertained, is suddenly deprived of its favorite drug, stimulation. This is where most people stop. They believe silence isn't for them, that their minds are too loud to ever be peaceful. But the truth is, everyone's mind resists at first. The key is not to fight the thoughts or to force them to stop. That only creates more tension. Instead, you simply observe. Picture yourself sitting beside a river, watching boats float past. Each boat is a thought. One carries a worry, another a memory, another a plan. You don't have to jump into any of them. You can just let them pass. The current keeps flowing whether you engage or not. You start to realize something life-changing. You are not the boats. You are not even the river. You are the one who watches. When you remain in this state long enough, something extraordinary happens. The river begins to calm. The turbulence of your thoughts fades. The surface becomes still, and for the first time, you can see clearly into the depths of your own consciousness. What you find there isn't emptiness, it's presence, a pure awareness that has been there all along, hidden beneath the noise. This is the moment when the mind finally surrenders. The endless storm of thoughts dissolves into quiet. What remains is peace, not the temporary peace that comes from solving a problem, but a peace that doesn't depend on anything outside you. It's not something you create. It's what you uncover once everything false has fallen away. In this space, you meet yourself again. You remember who you are before the world told you who to be. You realize you are not your job, not your title, not your fears or your failures. You are the quiet awareness that watches everything come and go. This realization alone begins to change you. Your heartbeat slows, your breath deepens, and your entire nervous system begins to synchronize with this inner rhythm. The body and mind, once pulled in different directions, start to align. Your brain, nourished by silence, begins producing new cells, rebuilding neural connections, enhancing clarity, focus, and creativity. Your body begins to mirror the serenity of your soul. 5 minutes of silence a day becomes more than a break. It becomes a reset. It's like cleaning the dust off your inner mirror. It clears your mental cache, freeing up the energy that was trapped in endless cycles of thought. You become more attentive, less reactive. You think with precision instead of panic. You respond to life instead of fighting it. And in this state of calm alertness, you open the door to something deeper, the natural flow of life energy that animates you. Once breath and silence have opened your inner channels, there comes a third step that completes the circle: movement. Breath awakens the body, silence heals the mind, and movement unites them both into flow. This movement is not exercise for vanity. It's medicine for vitality. Your body was never designed to be still for most of the day. Hours spent sitting at a desk, driving through traffic, or lying in front of screens suffocate your natural rhythm. This stillness is not peace. It's stagnation. The stiffness in your shoulders, the fatigue in your back, the heaviness in your joints. None of this is age. It's the cost of immobility. Think of your body as a river. When water moves, it remains pure and full of life. When it's trapped behind a dam, it turns stale. Stagnation breeds decay, both in rivers and in bodies. Movement is the flow that keeps your inner river alive. Every stretch you make sends oxygen and blood to forgotten places. Every rotation of a joint wakes up energy that has been trapped. Every fluid motion breaks the crystallization of tension that silently ages you. Our ancestors knew this truth. In every ancient culture, movement was sacred. The monks of Shaolin, the yogis of India, the Sufi dervishes, the indigenous shamans, all moved with purpose, not to compete or perform, but to awaken their inner life force. They called it Kai, prana, spirit, breath of God. Through movement, they kept that energy alive, flowing, and bright. Each gesture was a prayer, each stretch a key that unlocked another level of vitality. Movement for them was not vanity, it was ceremony. When you begin to move with awareness, you reactivate this sacred memory in your own body. You polish the inner instrument through which your life plays its music. The dullness that once felt like fatigue begins to shine again. Your body becomes lighter, more awake, more responsive. You start to feel alive in places that were once numb. You notice how energy circulates with each motion. Your spine, once compressed and tired, begins to loosen. Your breath deepens, and with it, your emotional state shifts. A flexible body is a youthful body, no matter its age. Flexibility allows life force to travel unblocked, feeding every cell, keeping your organs healthy and your mind clear. Rigidity, both physical and emotional, is the mark of disconnection. When you soften, you reconnect with the natural intelligence that has always been inside you. You begin to understand that strength is not stiffness. True strength is the ability to flow. The heart of this entire process lies in your spine. It is not merely a column of bones. It is the central channel through which energy flows between your body and mind. In yogic tradition, it is called the tree of life, or the seat of Kundalini, the coiled serpent of energy resting at the base of your spine. When your posture is closed, when your spine is rigid, this energy cannot rise. It stays trapped, leading to fatigue, imbalance, and emotional heaviness. But when you move, breathe, and hold yourself in alignment, that current of life awakens. It travels upward, lighting every cell like a string of lanterns. You begin to feel what it means to be truly alive, not just functioning but glowing from within. This is why movement is sacred. It is prayer in motion. Every slow stretch, every fluid twist, every breath-guided motion reconnects you to the rhythm of creation itself. You don't need to be a dancer or a master. You just need to move consciously, with presence. Even 5 or 10 minutes a day is enough to awaken the memory of your natural rhythm. When breath, silence, and movement unite, they create a perfect harmony inside you. Breath clears the pathways, silence restores balance, and movement activates flow. Together they dissolve years of tension, rebuild your nervous system, and renew your sense of connection to life. You begin to sense that your body is not just a structure, it's an instrument tuned to the frequency of your soul. Every inhalation, every pause, every gesture becomes part of a symphony that the universe itself is playing through you. The world around you may still be loud, fast, and chaotic, but inside, something changes. The noise no longer controls you. You move through life differently, steady, present, awake. The same 5 minutes that once felt unbearable now feel like home. The same silence that once felt empty now feels full. You are no longer chasing peace. You have become it. Your breath becomes deeper, your mind quieter, your movement lighter. Life begins to feel like flow again, not effort. And in that flow, everything begins to heal. Your cells, your mind, your energy, your emotions, all return to their natural harmony. You no longer age through tension. You evolve through awareness. The modern world will always try to pull you away from yourself, but through silence, you remember. Through breath, you realign. Through movement, you return to life. Each day, you build a bridge back to your essence, a living rhythm of stillness, presence, and flow. When the body begins to ache, when tiredness becomes constant, and the mirror starts to show signs of time, it's not simply age speaking. It's energy that has fallen asleep. Life's current, which moves through the spine like a river of light, becomes stagnant when we stop breathing fully, moving freely, or resting deeply. Fatigue, pain, and premature aging appear as signals, not punishments. They are reminders that your inner current needs to flow again. The way to awaken it is not through effort or struggle, but through a return to natural movement, a gentle reconnection to breath, awareness, and the intelligence of the body itself. The first step is to awaken your spine. Stand with your feet shoulder width apart, feeling the earth beneath you. Take a long, deep breath and slowly arch your back as you open your chest toward the sky. Imagine you're absorbing sunlight through your heart. Don't force anything. Let it feel effortless and alive. As you exhale, bend forward slowly, vertebra by vertebra, letting your head grow heavy and relaxed. Feel gravity taking away tension with every inch of movement. This simple action nourishes the discs between your vertebrae, restores flexibility, and begins to melt the nervous stress stored in your spine. It's a conversation between your breath and your body, reminding them that they were made to move together, not in conflict. Next, awaken your inner fire with rotation. Keep your feet planted on the ground and start gently turning your torso side to side. Let your arms hang loosely so they swing and tap against your body without effort. Feel the movement begin at your waist, spiraling upward. You are massaging your internal organs, stirring the inner waters of life. This movement increases circulation, clears stagnation, and awakens warmth throughout your body. You might even feel a tingling rising up your back, a sign that dormant energy is waking and beginning to flow again. What was once heavy becomes light. What was rigid becomes fluid. The body becomes a vessel of motion again, a flame wrapped in skin. Then comes the moment of expansion, the solar opening. Stand tall, take a deep breath, and slowly raise your arms out and up until your hands meet above your head. Stretch your whole spine as if trying to touch the sun. Hold the position for a moment. Imagine a stream of golden light entering through the top of your head and traveling down your spine to the base. Feel yourself connected between heaven and earth, an open channel of energy. As you exhale, lower your arms slowly and gracefully. What looks like a simple stretch is actually a sacred declaration. You are reminding the universe that you are ready to receive, that you are no longer closed or shrinking. You are expanding again. These three movements, bending, rotating, and reaching, form a living sequence known as the serpent dance. When practiced together, they awaken the body's central current, the same current that ancient mystics called the river of life. A few minutes of this each day is enough to bring noticeable change. Your breath deepens, your spine feels younger, your thoughts clear, your mood lifts. It's as if your body remembers a forgotten truth, that energy, not age, determines how alive you feel. Just as water revives a dry plant, these simple acts give drink to your nervous system, nourishing every cell with vitality. You start to feel strength rising from within, clarity flooding the mind, and a sense of lightness replacing fatigue. Through these movements, you awaken the sleeping serpent, your vital force. But beneath these physical practices lies a deeper revelation, the wisdom that Thoth, the ancient keeper of truth, passed down through the ages. This wisdom is not hidden in temples or locked in secret texts. It lives in the body. It is the sovereignty of time. The three pillars you have just learned, breath, stillness, and movement, are the true keys. There is no forced secret, no hidden formula. The mystery of eternal vitality is shocking in its simplicity. The forbidden ritual that so many have sought is not an exotic ceremony, but the rediscovery of your natural state. The greatest magic is remembering how human you are. The secret is that there is no secret. True power lies in mastery of the basics. Breathing like a river keeps your energy in constant motion. Being still like a lake allows the mind to settle and heal. Moving like a feline keeps the body fluid, strong, and youthful. This is the trinity of rejuvenation. This is how the ancient masters transcended decay. They understood something we've forgotten. Time is not an enemy. It does not hunt you. It mirrors you. It follows the rhythm of your thoughts, the pace of your emotions, the flow of your breath. When your mind is chaotic and your body stiff, time accelerates and drains you. But when your breath is deep and your body flexible, time slows down and serves you. You begin to experience time not as a prison, but as a rhythm that dances to your inner state. Youth, therefore, has never been about cosmetics or medicine. The world has built an industry of illusions around aging: creams, pills, injections, technologies that promise what nature already gave you for free. True rejuvenation comes not from adding, but from subtracting, removing tension, noise, and stagnation that block your body's ability to regenerate. You do not need to fix what was never broken. You only need to clear what is in the way. A body that breathes fully purifies itself every second. A mind that finds silence repairs itself continuously. A body that moves freely remains forever alive. When breath, silence, and motion work as one, the body enters a state of self-renewal so natural that the years lose their weight. You don't stop time. You change your relationship with it. You leave behind the tyranny of the ticking clock and enter the timeless flow of existence. The real magic of this practice is not in its complexity, but in its consistency. The miracle hides in repetition. What you do once can inspire you, but what you do daily transforms you. Each breath becomes an act of rebellion against decay. Each moment of silence becomes an act of healing. Each movement becomes a declaration of freedom. With every practice, you are rewriting your contract with time, reclaiming sovereignty over your vitality. You are reminding life that you remember how to live. If you have followed this far, it means you already carry the rare qualities of those who stay forever young: curiosity, discipline, and an open heart. Most people surrender to the myth of aging without question. They let society tell them when to grow tired, when to stop dreaming, when to give up on renewal. But you are not one of them. You are one of the few who remember that age is not a number. It's a vibration. Your willingness to question what you were taught is already a sign of transformation. Change will not come overnight, nor will it appear as a sudden miracle. It will come as a gentle flame that grows stronger with attention. Over time, stress and neglect may have tried to smother that flame, but the ember never went out. It was waiting for you to breathe on it again. Each breath, each moment of quiet, each movement you make fans it back to life until it becomes a radiant fire of vitality. From this moment on, your relationship with time begins to shift. Time is no longer the executioner counting your days. It becomes the craftsman shaping your renewal under your guidance. You begin to work with time instead of against it. You stop aging in fear and start aging with grace. Like a tree that grows rings not as signs of wear, but as symbols of wisdom. Time begins to obey you because you have aligned with the laws that govern all living things. Laws that were never revoked, only forgotten. The great secret of rejuvenation has never been locked away in temples or sold by industries. It has always been right here, simple and free. The breath that animates you, the silence that restores you, and the movement that keeps you flowing. The ritual you seek is already alive inside you. You don't need to learn it. You only need to remember it. It is your birthright, your sacred inheritance as a living being. So the only question that remains is whether you will practice it. Will you give yourself a few minutes each day to honor your own vitality? Will you dare to reject the programming that says decline is inevitable? and trust your body's infinite intelligence? The key is in your hands. The door is open. The path is waiting. The choice to walk it is yours alone. May these words not remain as mere inspiration, but become the beginning of a new rhythm in your life. A rhythm of strength, stillness, and radiance. May the universe hear your declaration and respond by reflecting that same vitality in your outer world. The flame within you has been rekindled. Now, how brightly will you let it shine? This journey is only beginning. Reaching this understanding places you among the rare few who are ready to reclaim their power, who have the courage to stand against the illusion of time. Breathe deeply. Stand tall. Move with grace. Speak the truth with your body. Let your breath announce to creation itself, time obeys me.